AP News, I'm Ed Donahue. 2 days after her debate with Donald Trump, Kamala Harris is in North Carolina.
I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
Trump posted on Truth Social there will be no third debate. He also suggested a prize fighter who loses a bout is always the one to call for a rematch. Harris says Donald Trump showed at the debate that he has no plan for the future.
Because, it's all about him. It's not about you. Well, folks, I said it then, I say it now. It's time to turn the page.
Donald Trump is heading west to campaign in Tucson, Arizona. Nathan Clark, the father of an Ohio boy killed last year when a Haitian immigrant hit a school bus, is imploring Donald Trump and other politicians to stop invoking his son's name in the debate about immigration.
They can vomit all the hate they want about illegal immigrants, the border crisis, and even untrue claims about fluffy pets being ravaged and eaten by community members. However, they are not allowed, nor have they ever been allowed to mention Aiden Clark from Springfield, Ohio.
A federal report says Border Patrol agents who rushed to the school shooting in Uvalde, Texas 2 years ago failed to establish command at the scene and had insufficient training to deal with what became one of the nation's deadliest classroom attacks. Francine is no longer a hurricane, but its remnants are soaking Louisiana and nearby states. Governor Jeff Landry says no deaths have been reported so far, and lights are starting to come back on.
At the peak, we had over 450,000 people without power, and right now we're down to 350,000 people without power.
Flash flooding threatens cities like Memphis and Atlanta. As wildfires burn in the mountains near Los Angeles, people in Southern California were jolted awake by an earthquake, 4.7 magnitude. No injuries or damage reported. The Dow finished up 235 points. This is AP News. A former leader in Peru has died.
Alberto Fujimori, whose decade-long presidency began with triumphs righting Peru's economy and defeating a brutal insurgency, only to end in autocratic success, the latest sent into prison, has died at 86. Fujimori, who governed with an increasingly authoritarian hand from 1990 to 2000, was pardoned in December from his convictions for corruption and responsibility for the murder of 25 people. His daughter said in July that he was planning to run for Peru's presidency for the fourth time in 2026. The former university professor had taken over a country ravaged by runaway inflation and guerrilla violence, mending the economy with bold actions including mass privatizations of state industries. Defeating fanatical Shining Path rebels took a little longer, but also won him broad-based support. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Peru's government declared 3 days of national mourning. Fujimori was granted a state funeral. I'm Ed Donahue, AP News.
Good morning, Marianas. So many things we gotta discuss. Happy day, Tirawami, and greetings to Rhoda, Guam, Saipan, and Tinian. For all your island news, from a beautiful place with Pacific views, it's always so much fun on Good Morning, Marianas.
Good morning. We are so close to being done with this weather. We're close. Not quite there. We got a couple more days, but we're so close to making it through this week too. That's right, baby. The weekend. The weekend is just about here. You made it. You survived. What are you gonna do? You're gonna get wet. Then go out and have some fun. All right, well, we're looking at 85 degrees right now here in Saipan. Humidity's at 80%, but it's still raining out there, so it feels like a little bit higher than that. It's a light rain. But things are moving along just fine. Again, multiple hazards are out in effect right now. Flood watch, high surf advisory. At least we're through that wind advisory because some of the higher winds have made their way past us, and that's exactly what we were hoping for a while. And we're there. We're good. Today, expect isolated showers, mostly cloudy skies, high near 85. We're there already. That's nice. Southeast winds 13 to 16 miles per hour with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. Looking at more of the same tonight. Chance of rain is going to be 80% tonight. Some storms could produce some real heavy rainfall, so just be ready for that out there. Don't put the laundry out there to dry today. Probably not a good idea. Tomorrow, what's the weather looking like over the weekend? It's going to rain. That's good news and bad news. The good news is we know it. The bad news is it's coming. So more rain, 80% chance during the day, 100% chance during the night. The wind's going to drop down significantly, but we're looking at showers, possibly a thunderstorm all day tomorrow. Tomorrow night. Sunday, looking at rain again. Could be heavy rain is what it says. The rain could be heavy at times. High near 84 on Sunday, but 100% chance of rain throughout the entire weekend and Monday. We are through that tropical storm Babinka that blew through here, and now we're in that monsoon surge, which really sounds like the newest flavor from Mountain Dew, doesn't it? Like I'm ready to go put on my high tops and get on a skateboard and Mountain Dew. Ew. Anyway, that's what's going on. And Babinka, man, was that rice cake is what Brian Manabat was saying when we were at court the other day. He's like, yeah, it's like rice cakes. I'm like, oh, dude, that's awesome. To me, it sounds like a vitamin. Like, oh, man, my sleep was terrible for years until I tried Babinka, and now I'm going great. Anyway, good morning, Marianas. It's here at 7:19. We already got you guys the update from the Associated Press, kicked you off with that a little bit. and we'll get into some of the things that are happening in our world. As a reminder, this show is not just all about what I think is important. This is about what you guys think is going on too. So if you've got questions, comments, you want to tell me, Brad, you're full of it, or Brad, you're missing this story here, dude, I want you to do that. Give us a call, 789-2323. That's what this thing is all about. Here, I'm pulling up the traffic cam now. I know you guys were looking at it outside. Traffic on Beach Road. It's moving right along. Looks kind of like nothing, right? It looks like twice as much traffic as what you're going to see in Tinian probably, but it's still a big deal for us. But what we do have out here, oh no, I typed it wrong. Come on, you gotta be kidding. But what we do have out here is a couple of spots where traffic is normally a little hot for us, and we're going to show you where that's at right now. Go down to the main map, looking over at, still the funniest thing for me is seeing that Mount Tapachao, Concrete Jesus is the way somebody has labeled it. It's just, it makes me laugh every time I see it. A little rough, but you know, we'll go with it. Anyway, here's what we're looking at on some of the main spots in Saipan right now. It actually looks like it's moving right along pretty well. It's at 7:20 this morning. This is when it starts to get a little bit busier too. Right by the AK intersection is where it slows down a little bit. And a lot of that can be all those folks who are moving west. If they want to take a left and head south on Beach Road, there's just one lane to do it, and there's really only about 10 cars that are able to get through at a time. It's rough. That's like 10 cars per green light. That's how rough it is. And then you're dropping off to a lower level and all that. Now, I'll tell you, I think part of it's got to be because these guys who designed this this construction project, that road is not the same height, and it's also plenty bumpy. All right, well, anyway, that's what it's looking like there. But here's the magic right here. This is where IT&E is. Oh, I was saying it was magic because it wasn't red. Well, it's red now, baby. If you're trying to get if you're trying to travel east on Chalamonte Guerrero, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here showing you guys the map. Now I'm showing you the map. If you're sitting here taking a look at the intersection by Chalamonte Guerrero and John Polly Arnold, so Middle Road and CMG, it's a little bit slow for folks who are trying to move east along that road. They're either going to take a left to go down Middle Road, or they're going to go up the hill to the college, or whip around Capitol Hill. That's probably the long way to go. Anyway, as you look down here, as we get down toward the AK intersection, this is the stuff that we were talking about for a little bit beforehand, and you can see that it is slow if you're trying to head west on CMG down by AK Toyota. But that's a good opportunity for you to look over to your right and say, ooh, look at those fancy new cars and trucks from AK. I got to see what Tracy Guerrero's got going on over there. She came in and now it's all magic. Go take a look at what's going on at AK. Well, you're going to be stuck at the light anyway, so go for it. If you do manage to take a right, it's nice and easy heading north on Beach Road. If you're coming from the Garapan area heading south, not so much. You see it's slowing down a little bit. Again, that's a tough spot to take a turn, because there's only that one single road. If you look at when I was looking at our traffic cam, the actual camera, it looks like things are moving just fine past our office in Olei. So we're going to go a little bit further south to go take a look at what things are like at Middle Road, by MHS, and MHS looks fine, but man, over by Joten and World Resort, that is a nightmare intersection. Look at that, dark red. That means bula slow. Like nobody's moving. And it's so terrible. It's like one of the worst intersections. I can't believe it's been sitting there looking like the same thing forever. Anyway, that's what you're doing. If you're trying to head south on Beach Road, you're going to get jammed up when you get by Joten. If you're trying to head north on Beach Road, you're going to get jammed up by the time you get to Joten. I know, it's all that same spot. That whole section from Chalumpiao right in front of Great Harvest until you get to MHS or until you pass the public library, it's just lousy. And it's been lousy for months, it feels like. Years, really. Now it feels like years. But it is just not great. So we're looking forward to that being done, because right now it is just, you can't plan on smooth travel, no matter how early you're moving. One way to do it, though, is go around the back roads and try to adjust accordingly. Some of the other tough spots, Chalmonte Martinez over by Shell Dandan is usually slowing down. But right now, look at that, just moderately slow. That's got to be great for everybody. The intersection over in San Vicente by the airport intersection, not looking so bad. It's a little slow coming down the hill and going up the hill, but that's nothing to be expected. And then people going around, whipping down on their way to the airport, that should be pretty easy today too. Ooh, that just reminded me, I got to go drop somebody off the airport today. Over by San Vicente School, looks like it's a little slow too, as people are slowing down and getting ready to drop off their kids over at the home of the Canaries, and that's pretty good. We're just going to take one more check over by the Cagman area, and maybe on our way down. Looking pretty good over there by Cagman. Not too shabby. We're working our way around East Drive, and you can see after you pass by, there's Valley View Apartments. So over by the McDonald's bus stop, it slows down a little bit, but not so much. It's probably just people by a store. And then when you get all the way down to Beach Road, it's pretty good. How about the tennis court intersection? It's a little slow right now, but not too bad. Oh, geez. And then there's that update. Traffic looks like it's backing up where they're doing that road work between the tennis courts and Marianas Creation. So, again, the main thing to get around a lot of that is give yourself more time. Just leave earlier, and your life's going to be so much happier. Coming down Navy Hill Road, that's a little slow, too. You can see northbound and southbound, people are just stuck at the light and getting ready to go there. So that's your first look at traffic this morning here on Good Morning Marianas. My goodness. Yeah, four-way. Wait, what are you talking about? I saw your comment and I can't see it. You know what would be great? I'm going to scroll down here real quick. This is the AK intersection. They had talked about this, Chalamonte Guerrero, right here by AK, and turning this intersection right here into a roundabout. I think that would be great. Traffic would move so much smoother, but it's going to have to be a pretty considerable roundabout. Like, it can't be just a little one. There's a lot of cars that are going to be coming from the north heading south. And that's going to need plenty of traffic, almost like 2 lanes coming from that side. And then you need like 1 lane as the inner circle and then 1 lane as the outer through circle. You're going to have to cut into a lot of that area, but I think it would really speed things up. If you could make 1 massive traffic circle by IT&E, that would help too. It would. Those are 2 big areas that are really tough. The other one I would say, give the people from Chalanquiza another escape route than Mobile, right? I mean, that's a tough spot, like where there's always a traffic buildup over there, right? And this is it. Like, this is a tough spot. If you live in Chalanquiza and you're trying to escape onto the main road and go anywhere in life, you can't. Try to take a left, good luck. You can't. Devise another way to get people out of there. That's what needs to happen. I don't know if there's a way to do it over here after you pass by the health clinic. Just connect a road or 2. That would be awesome. But definitely make a way to get them through all the way out by McDonald's and Saipan, Vegas. There's a little throughput road around there that would make, I think, lives of people who live in Chalanquiza so much happier, so much easier. It's like one of the worst places to go. Well, all that said, Saipan is still one of the best places to go no matter what you end up saying. So we're still in good shape. So I wouldn't worry about that too much at all. Well, there's your look at traffic this morning. Hey, good morning, Connie. Good to see you. Ray, good to see you. Vincent Raymond, good to see you too. Luisa, great to see you too. Yes, we made it to Friday. Els, how's it going? Thanks for being here. Eric, great to see you too. I know a lot of you folks, people are asking, hey, can you see who's watching you? Well, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. The way it is that the way the phones are set up, you can, like the app for Facebook is set up that if I'm watching it on my phone, I can see who's watching on whatever channel. So like right now I'm popping on, I'm going to turn down the volume. Like when I pop on to the Good Morning Marianas channel itself, like I can see it. If I go on, like as I'm watching here, with all the screens that I got here, I can only see you when you comment. So, and you're free to comment, and our phone lines are open too, by the way. 789-2323, 789-2323. Now, I got something else I want to tell you about real quick, because there was a little tweak to some of the message that we were giving you. It's the same stuff, but it's a little bit different. Most of it is the same. Here we go. It's mostly about the written part that we've got on here. Got to change about Medicaid, because if you're a Medicaid recipient, you're in good luck. Now, you've got all kinds of coverage with Medicaid, but when you're going to different places, different clinics are going to tell you, sorry, we're not taking it. It's all the payment issues, the government or whatever. You always hear that. Always hear it. You hear, sorry, Medicaid not accepted. Sorry, we don't take Medicaid. You almost have to call every time. Well, you don't have to make that call if you're going to Paradise Dental. Why? Because Paradise Dental wants you to be there. They're right there on Middle Road. They're that nice orange building. You think that's nice? Wait till you go inside. Inside, it's amazing, and the people are great too. And they want to make you feel great. And if you've got Medicaid, they want you to be their customer. They want you to be their patient. They want to be your dentist. And here's what you get. If you are a Medicaid recipient, you're already covered. This is all free. Your x-rays, free. Extractions, free. Fillings, free. Your checkups, free. That's all ages. Can you believe it? That's all that stuff is covered under your Medicaid, and they're not turning you away. They're inviting you over. And how about if you're under 20? If you're 19 and under, just about every single thing is free, including cleanings. So head on down, and Medicaid also covers all your emergency dental services too. So when bad stuff happens, you don't have to wonder how you're going to pay for all that stuff. The other thing is that you should not be waiting for a toothache to go and get checked out. Again, don't wait for a toothache, because your checkup is going to be covered if you're a Medicaid recipient. Call Paradise Dental, 234-4040, 234-4040, and find out why so many people are going over there. It's a great place. We were just there shooting a commercial last week, and man, everybody was so nice. The doctors were coming up just to introduce themselves while we were getting stuff done in the office. The dental hygienists and the clinicians were just absolutely fantastic. Right from the moment we walked in the door, everybody was really nice. And can't wait till we get that commercial together so we can send. We're gonna start playing it here too, to show you all this stuff. And man, I'll tell you, go down there, give them a call, and tell them we sent you. It would be great, actually, just if you could tell them, if you have Medicaid, go down there and say, hey, Brad sent me. NMI, I saw your ad. I saw your commercial on NMI News Service. I saw you on Good Morning Marianas. Tell them that. They will love it. I'll love it, too, because then they'll know for sure that they got it for you. Hey, Paling, man, thanks for sending those thoughts to Tobot. Tobot, you're the man, dude. You are the man, and I hope that everything is going to be easier for you guys while you're down there visiting family and following the passing of your dad. I safe trip, and hope you enjoy it. And spending time with your family is going to be a big difference. I'll tell you, that's the one thing that when losing a family member does, as hard as it is, it's great to be there with everybody, how everybody comes in. And then all your friends come in out of the woodwork and message you out of the woodwork and all that. Oh, man, it's such a painful time. It's great that all those folks are there for you and you get to feel that love. And I think you get that a little bit more out here than folks in the mainland. I mean, it's nice in the mainland too, but it's different. Like here, there's a whole, it takes on like a whole nother level. I like it because of, it's not just one day and it's done. I mean, that was something I enjoy. Like I remember living out there in the mainland, you get the wake. We did the wake for 3 days. We didn't do novenas or any of that stuff. It was 3 days, then the funeral, and then that's it. Then that's literally it. Go back to work, Here it's different. It's really special how everybody comes together. You really get to feel it, and the support and love from everybody. It is great. All right. Now, there's some other folks who came together, but they came together for another reason. They came together to fight crime. We have a task force that's focused just on these kind of things. And it consists of our Department of Public Safety, our Customs, our Department of Corrections, our ABTC. They are all involved in trying to fight the flow of meth in our community, whether it's coming from off island or whether it's transported locally and sold locally. They are trying to get these bad guys. Well, there was a big win for the good guys, just recently, because we were at the Department of Public Safety's conference room, and oh my gosh, by the way, they have a pretty awesome conference room. It is like, I don't know when it got great, but it is great. Hold on. Oh, geez. Those kids out there screaming. Nope, hold on one second. I'm about to show you this. I'm really just trying to show you this. That's my whole goal right now. I'm going to have to move this over. There we go. They ended up getting this lady at the airport with about a pound of meth on her. Right? And then they said, well, those clothes are no good. Let's give you these orange ones. And then what they ended up doing was, here, maybe I got to slow that down a little bit for you too. Then, because they found that stuff in her bag, they found out that she is a resident here. So they got a warrant to search her house. And when they did that, they found even more. Here, let's change it to there so you get a little bit more time per slide. And all in all, they found about 3 pounds worth of crystal meth at her house. Holy smokes. I mean, really. That was just awful. And, yeah, Tobot, you said you knew that girl, right? I mean, like, did you say she was an actor or something, or a performer? Millie Mantanona. And she does not look happy. That's the 2 pounds that they found at her house. And that's the 1 pound that they found on her at the airport. And apparently they say she's from Guam, but that she does have an apartment here. And that's in Garapan. And there's the True Narc that they have. No, the actor. Oh, okay, I got you, Tobot. So the and that's the thing that we talked about yesterday. So they got that machine that tests for that stuff from their fellow crime fighters in Australia, giving us the tools we need to catch all bad guys, hop right over them, and hopefully our local dancers don't get the help from Australia from ray gun in the Olympics. I hope our dancing stays a little bit better than what they were able to bring in there. Yeah, Leonard, not her first rodeo, I'm guessing. Yeah, she doesn't look very happy, but I mean, not a lot of people look happy in their mugshots, probably. Just a guess. And she's right on with that one. Good morning, Ann. Good to see you, too. Great to see you. Hey, you know, it's really funny. I've been talking to people about the show a lot recently, and they're asking, hey, how's it going? You know, and are people watching? And, you know, where are they watching from? Do you get people from Guam who are watching? Oh, Ann, good to see you, too. I see you over there on the YouTube side. I'm like, yeah, you'd be surprised, like, how many people are starting to this thing is really starting to pick up. It's a great morning show for, you know, getting ready and learning about what's going on in our community. And, man, I'll tell you, your responses have been great. And throughout the days, too. We are just crushing with regards to getting more people, but it's all because of you. I mean, we need to still get more followers and all that other stuff, but the trajectory that we're on for that is all great, and it's all because of you guys. You guys are doing a great job. Hey, thanks, Jerry. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And man, I'll tell you, it is really progressing, and a lot of folks from Guam are watching. You're like you, Jerry. I'm telling you, like no matter how many people watch, we're getting about 60% of the people watching from the CNMI are watching from Guam. Does that make sense? It's a weird number. If we get 1,000 people from the NMI who are watching, then we're probably going to get an additional 600 from Guam on top, who are also watching. So, and a lot of them are people from Guam who have ties here, family, friends, you name it. So all that stuff, it is definitely getting around, and that's all you guys. You guys are doing a great job of getting that word out. So, well, it's unfortunate that's. It's unfortunate that that happened. That lady chose the life that she did about bringing meth to the Marianas from Guam. but at least we got a good task force taking those guys down. You know, I'm telling you, you almost like, why would Department of Corrections be there? Department of Corrections is there because they got people inside the walls telling them about stuff that's happening too. Because those guys are connected to the other stuff too. And then they got to deal with them when they get there. Everybody's working together. Customs, they bag them at the airport. And then if there's customs stops at the ports, right? So then you need to have DPS in there to go and get the bad guys from the other places where they're at, right? And then and then ABTC, they're involved because a lot of the folks that they're dealing with are connected to that world as well. So it's a really great group together fighting crime. I was joking with them. I'm like, it's like the Avengers of crime fighting out there at these press conferences with them. And it's great. I mean, like before this, I don't remember seeing that kind of unity and partnership. At least it wasn't heralded. And maybe only one person took the credit or something. I don't know. But I just never saw them all together with those kind of things. And this is really great to see. Hey, good morning, Freddie. Good to see you. Great to see you, man. I just keep seeing, and I'm reminded every time I see you there that I need to get to Tinian and see you guys. We had, by the way, speaking for Freddie in particular, and I'm going to go down this road just a little bit, and I don't need to have the Senora de la Meth on the screen when I do it, so there we go. But thank you, Millie Matanonia, for being arrested. And no longer, and for, I can't believe, like, who brings meth to Saipan? I mean, like, it's crazy. So I guess maybe Guam is like, I'll tell you what, if you guys are going to keep sending us your boat people, then we're going to start sending you our meth people. Maybe that's the even balance. Maybe we can have a negotiation with them. Say, we'll stop sending you Chinese people on boats if you stop sending us meth. Deal? Deal. All right. But anyway, Freddie, we had our VFW meeting. We have one VFW post in the CNMI. It's VFW Saipan post 3457. In Guam, they have 2 posts. We have 1. And we absolutely need our members, and we need our members to be present. So, for instance, Freddie, I know you've expressed that you're going to sign up, which is great. And then I will make sure I get you, if you can't make it over for the meetings, which, I mean, that's a heck of a flight just for a meeting. We could do it remotely. We'll do like a Zoom call for you for being off island. And then there's a couple of folks here who, for health reasons, might not be able to make it. We'll end up doing it, and you guys will be involved in that too. But the more important thing that we absolutely need is active participation. So I know we're able to add members to the post for VFW and Saipan, but what we really need are the people who are members to be active, because this is how it works. There's when the generations change over, there's got to be some real handoff. And like when the World War II guys started dying off, and then the Korean War guys, and right now we're in that phase where the Vietnam War guys are starting to pass away, and they were pretty, like the most recent active members are passing away, and now it's like the next group is my group, the guys who served in the 90s and forward, and then we'll be around for a little while, and then we got handed off to the guys who did all the time in the sandbox after us. That's it. And it's a perpetual thing. But we need the guys who are here to become active and attend the meetings, because if we don't, we are not going to have a post here. It's not like a scary warning or something like that. But no one person can do it themselves, and no couple of people can do it all themselves, or nor should they be expected to. In fact, the VFW, you have to have a certain amount of people to be there at all the meetings and doing stuff all the time anyway. But when more people are there, there's less stuff to do. There's only 2 meetings a month. There's the committee that handles all the business of like the VFW canteen, like the VFW bar and the office space and all that, paying all the bills. And then the other one is what we do in the community. We got a lot of old dudes who are dying off, can't handle it, or can't do it anymore. And you know what? They've earned a break from it. It's time for us to start getting in there. If you're a member of our post, we need you. It's not that we want you. It's not just the Uncle Sam. We want you. We need you to be there because those guys just can't go anymore. We need you to be there. And even if it's remote. So Freddie, let's get you signed up and let's get some of the other brothers out there and we'll put this thing in the right way. All right. We'll move on though, because I know that that's not for everybody. Not everybody knows about that stuff, but contact us here, and I will get you all the info you need to get this stuff done. And maybe I'll do a real quick fly over and back to Tinian and get you guys squared away. All right. Hey, this is the trial that we were covering. We talked about it since it was filed last year. These are the two folks who are working at Judge Gavendo's office in the judiciary. One person said that they were raped. The other person said that is not at all what happened. We talked about it at length about like what was said and the actions that were said, what was said by the alleged victim, and the messaging that was put up by the alleged perpetrator. And it's tough. And the both parties have rested already, and we're just waiting for a decision on the jury. Should start today. We should hear from the jury at some point today. But I'll tell you, I think the jury's not going to take long to deliberate. Maybe, because I know it would be difficult to me to deliberate on this case. I mean, I think, it's hard to process the amount of emotion that the alleged victim exuded when she was telling her side of the story. But it's also hard to process all the actions and the communications that happened afterwards. Like, logically, separated from all that stuff, it appears like I have a hard time putting those two things together. How somebody could be so violently attacked and then feared for their life, and then sent a message after she got home, hey, I tried to wake you up before I left, but I couldn't, and I locked the door behind me, but your headlights were on in the truck, and I left them on by mistake when I dropped you off. So if the battery's dead in the morning, then I owe you a new battery. Like that. Granted, I'm thinking about that with a totally disassociated thought, right? I was not involved in any of that stuff. Just how do those things fit together? For me, they don't. I don't know how to make that work. Do I think she's lying? No. I think she believes exactly, like her emotions were not faked at all when she said all that stuff. But then how do you say that kind of stuff afterwards? It's tough. Oh, thank you, Louisa. You know, that was the last update I was trying to put in there too. Hold on. Hey, maybe Blad is beautiful. Maybe it was supposed to be Brad. No, it's not Brad, but I love it. Yeah, so it's hard for me to put those two together and see how they make sense. And they kept talking about it afterwards, and they kept having a conversation. So, whatever the case is, it's going to go up to the jury to deal with it. And I got to talk with some other folks who were covering the case too, and they had real similar feelings about it. But some of these folks who were there in the courtroom say the same thing. Dude, that dude's a creeper. I'm like, oh, okay. I don't, like, doesn't he look just weird? I'm like, okay, maybe. But, I not really, it's probably not fair for me to make real visual judgments based on the way they both look. They don't look like they would be a pair anyway. But like the whole, even leading up to that stuff, you know, like, I'm so busy, I can't really do it. I'm just going to drop off your mail. And then she drops it off, but then they go swimming, then they leave that place, then they go to the beach. While there's like groceries from the store that were like thawing out in the car. Like, I don't know. Probably my biggest problem with this is that I'm really just trying to process that logically, and it does not. Logic might not just be the key that unlocks this one. So I think there's going to come down to just a judgment call and looking at the faces of the jurors. Again, like I paid a lot of attention to what their reactions were as it was happening, and it was difficult for them. One young woman in particular just seemed absolutely disgusted. Like, just absolutely disgusted. And I think she made up her mind right away during the emotional part. She already had her take right there. Nothing else had to be said. She got everything she needed from there. I think the book by its cover, I think 2 of the other women already made up their minds at that point too. Like 3 of them. I think the old man that's there, who's probably in his late 60s, he might be paying attention and being open to the whole thing. And the young guy who's in his 20s, just sitting there as a sponge listening to it too. And it's such a difference. I mean, like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, like the age. It actually looks like 20s, 30s, 40s, and 60s. It looks like the age group for the jurors. And so it brought up a really good conversation with one of my other friends who was there, who was watching all this stuff. And he said something, he's like, you know, times have just changed, man. In that, like, I don't know how many times, like, hey, you know, when they're like dating girls back in the single days and all that other stuff, it's like, hey, and then, you know, she's like, no, I don't want to. It's like, all right, well, here, let's have another couple of drinks. And then she's like, all right, now we start making out. Is that, you can't do that anymore? Or, you know, what are the rules? Does that mean that I did something? I'm like, I don't think it does. Not in the context in which he said it. I'm like, I don't think that part changed. I don't think people have stopped having alcohol and doing stuff. By the way, there's nothing to say that she had any alcohol in this whole thing. That's not it. But this is just for that conversation afterwards. So, but with regards to that part of the conversation, he was talking about the other people at the jury and like how are they going to process that? You know, that guy who's in his 20s is going to see it a lot different. Those young women in their 30s, like there's mid 20s, late 20s, early 30s, and maybe late 30s, early 40s is like the rest of the women that are in that group. And, you know, their take on it, you know, putting themselves in that same position. Again, she said she felt guilty about putting herself in that position in the first place. But I don't know what that position is. I don't know. Like that's it. I don't know. But she said often she was confused about how to process it and all that. But she was very clear about saying that she was violently attacked and that she feared for her life. And then that brings me back to that same thing. But you're saying you tried to wake him up before you left? And you locked the door behind you, and then you told him about the lights being on in a text message after you left. Just for someone who violently attacked you. And then coming back at 4 o'clock in the morning when the guy texts you back, driving to someone else's house to go pick up jumper cables, and then driving over there at 4 o'clock in the morning to jump his car. Like, or his truck. I just can't. I just can't figure that out. I can't process that. Well, I'm not a juror, and that's probably good. You know what? And maybe I should knock on wood on that. I've been here like 21 years now, almost 22. I have never received a notice for jury trial. Not once. That's great. I know people who get it multiple times, but my magical number has never come up. And I would love it. I know people complain about jury duty. I would only complain about it because I love doing my show. But being a part of a case and being able to watch all that stuff sounds really interesting. Like that would be an adventure. And if you're impaneled on a federal jury, you could be there for multiple cases in a row. I've seen it when I was covering it like 10 years ago. Like the same faces at federal court as jurors over and over and over again. Not too many times. Maybe not over and over and over, but a couple of times. I have definitely seen that. All right. Well, we do have more stuff to get to. And we've got, especially if you're out there, and it's going to get a little rough on the roads today. We were talking about the roads, and if you don't like them right now, well, good news. Right now, it's better than it's going to be in about an hour from now. In about an hour from now, the folks over at CUC, our heroes of our utilities, are going to be closing down north and southbound lanes of Middle Road. I know, from Sugar King Park to just after, what road is that one? One of those side roads, right by Mobile. So basically from Mobile to Sugar King Park is going to be all closed today, like all day, from 9 o'clock until 4:30. Now they're going to try to get it done sooner. It was going to be done. This was going to be a yesterday project, but they pushed it till today. And that's because of the weather, right? But here, what they're doing, they're clearing the sewer lines and cleaning them because they had like the overflowing manhole and everything from the heavy rainfall. But this is because this is stuff they absolutely need to do. But it's going to be tough. If you're driving around the area or you're taking the detours, just follow the signs and take your time. Just know that that's just going to be today and something that you need to do. Now, if you live in Chinatown, your sewer lines are not going to be affected. So don't worry about it. They've got a plan for all that stuff. And if you've got any more questions, you can give them a call at 236-4343. But that highlighted area right there, that's where it's going to be plenty difficult. You're not going to be able to drive through there. So plan ahead. Beach Road's going to be busy in Garapan today. Really. Use that pass-through by the federal courthouse that takes you between Middle Road in Gualo Rye and Beach Road. I know that road kind of blows too. They should really fix that road, if anything. Make a real road through there that connects, because you got such a great intersection there to nowhere. It is a terrible drop off from that really super nice intersection to that not great road all the way down. They can fix that for sure and make a nice little way around it. But that's going to be one way for you to get around that whole mess for sure. So Beach Road is going to be your key to get through the Gualo Rye area today. So that's it. 9 to 4:30 today. Take a screenshot. I'm leaving it up there for a little while so you guys can do it in case you forget it. Just screenshot it on your phone and you'll know exactly where to go. But that's it. So if you're trying to get to Gold's Gym, not going to be a good day for you either. You're going to have to take the back way around, basically. And there is a back way around. It just takes a lot longer to get there. So same thing if you're trying to get to any of those spots. And at least it's not like a super highly trafficked area, but you're going to have to use that back road to get to all those spots. So at least you know that part you got to be happy about. All right, well, if you're not able to get to Gold's Gym today because of that, you are in luck, because there's another place you can go. Yes, you can. Maybe today's the day. You haven't gone there before, you haven't checked it out before. Well, now you should. It's down in Chalcanoa. It's just down the street from us in CK on Beach Road, and it's the newest facility in Saipan, the newest workout facility. They got the latest gear. They got free weights. They've got machines. They've got a cold plunge. They've got a sauna. They've got an octagon. They've got the spin room. They've got certified fitness trainers. They've got supplements, and they have got great smoothies specials. And all they need is you. Go down to Laddiebuilt 24-Hour Fitness and find out why I keep talking about them every single day, because they're pretty awesome. And today's your day, because it's not going to be easy to get to Gold's. Check them out. Tell them we sent you.
Where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book. We be a Lottie where discipline and vision is built. We lead by example, persistence to build. Be the inspiration, they witness approve. We do what we do by the rules in the book.
Hello and a blessed Hofede and Tiro. My name is Jose Rabago Jr. and I kindly ask today for your prayers. If you don't know me, people know me as a photographer, a graphic designer, a church member, a choir member. But today, I just kindly ask, as a normal person, I'm just kindly asking for your prayers. As of recently, I've been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called myasthenia gravis. And with this condition, it's drastically changed my life. I've gained double vision, weakness in my face, and in all parts of my bodies, and in general weakness overall. It's made life a little bit too difficult. I have upcoming surgery of island that can help me with my sickness. And this is why I kindly ask for your prayers. So now there's no current cure for this disease, but especially with my friends, family, close friends by my side, I know, and I always know that I gotta keep going. People still know me as the person who never stops, and that's what I'd like to continue doing. Never stop serving God, never stop serving people. And if you're willing, kindly ask if we can pray together. Prayer for the sick. All praise and glory is yours, Lord our God, for you have called us to serve you in love. Bless all who are sick so that they may bear this illness in union with your Son's obedient suffering. Restore them to health and lead them to glory. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Kindly thank you for praying with me today. I only ask for prayers, but if you have a generous heart and are willing to give anything, I'm open. Just give me a message. But honestly, I know the prayers work, and I know that's what I need to overcome the surgery, to overcome this sickness. Because overall, there's only one healer, and there's only one God.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are in swing states today that they hope to flip in the November election. Trump is heading to Tucson, Arizona, while Harris is holding rallies in Charlotte and Greensboro, North Carolina. Rasaga Magani reports she's calling for another debate.
At a North Carolina rally, Harris noted this week's debate with Donald Trump.
And I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
Minutes earlier, Trump rejected another matchup, writing on social media there will be no third debate after this week's and his June showdown with President Biden. Trump suggests a prizefighter who loses a bout is always the one calling for a rematch. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The father of an Ohio boy killed last year when a Haitian driver hit a school bus is imploring Donald Trump and others leaders to stop invoking his son's name in the debate about immigration. Nathan Clark spoke at the Springfield City Council hearing last night.
Did you know that one of the worst feelings in the world is to not be able to protect your child? Even worse, we can't even protect his memory when he's gone. Please stop the hate. I said to Aiden that I would try to make a difference in his honor. This is it. Live like Aiden.
New York City's police commissioner has resigned after his phone was seized last week as part of a federal investigation. Disgraced movie mogul Harvey Weinstein has been indicted on additional sex crimes charges ahead of his retrial in New York. After hitting Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane, Francine has weakened as the system moves inland. Crews are clearing roads and restoring electricity, while neighborhoods and businesses are cleaning up the mess left behind. No reports of deaths or injuries. Meantime, Tropical Storm Ileana has formed off Mexico's Pacific coast. And federal health officials say it's unclear how a person in Missouri caught bird flu, but they believe it may be a rare instance of a one-off, standalone illness. This is AP News. Seth Sutel has the AP Markets Report.
Stocks closed higher on Wall Street, bringing the market closer to its all-time highs. The S&P 500 climbed 0.7% Thursday. The Dow added 235 points. It's about 0.6%. The Nasdaq Composite jumped 1%. More gains for Nvidia and other big tech stocks drove the market higher. That offset a slump for Moderna. The vaccine maker sharply cut its plans for spending on research and development. Treasury yields were relatively steady in the bond market. That came after reports on layoffs and inflation that had few surprises. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note edged up to 3.86%. Seth Sutel, New York.
Boeing's waiting to find out whether 33,000 aircraft assembly workers are going on strike. Members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers are voting on a contract offer that includes 25% pay raises over 4 years. If they reject it and 2/3 vote to strike, a work stoppage would begin at 12:01 a.m. Pacific Time. I'm Ben Thomas, AP News. Thanks for listening.
Okay, welcome back, Marianas. It is 8:07 a.m. on Friday morning. You have made yourself, you've done great through the week. You're already here to the weekend. We got you your chickens, don't worry. Always find a way to get those guys in there for you. Welcome back, everybody. It is Friday morning, 8:07 here in the Marianas, and it is a great day, even if it's a little wet and rainy out there. How do you talk with that stuff in the background? I know. It's just inspiring to know that somebody put this stuff together and just continues to do it, and that's their passion. It's absolutely ridiculous, but somehow, some way, I'm still kind of here for it. Anyway, I'm here for you guys too. That's the other cool thing about this. We're able to talk about all kinds of cool stuff that's going on all around us here in the Marianas. And man, I'll tell you what, it is great that we're able to do all this cool stuff. Like welcoming these beauty pageant ladies coming in from Hong Kong. Yeah, so the Miss Hong Kong pageant is going to be here. It's going to be here in Saipan. Sunday, this Sunday. It's they've got a televised visit that's here in the Marianas, which is pretty cool. So Miss Hong Kong happens, I guess, every year. And this year they took a trip to the CNMI. They took a trip to Singapore, Baguio in the Philippines, and Inner Mongolia. So they're pretty well traveled. Anyway, the only problem is they got here and they were just devastated because all of their contestants, they're kind of okay compared to our island girls. They had no chance. They realized that if it was Miss CNMI, they were totally going to be way after our island girls out here. There's no way. They didn't have a chance. All right, that's not fair. I mean, is it nice? No, it's great that they came out here just to see the beauty they can aspire to. But anyway, it was another opportunity for the CNMI to kind of have a showcase of it here. They've got some views that happened for that video that they put out on YouTube. TVB is their channel, and they actually gave us some links to the 2 features that they put out. Are they awesome? I don't know. We'll find out. I tell you what, I'm not going to be able to understand it. Looks like they were at Crown for sure. In fact, let's see if I can't throw this in here. I know I can. Let me open up the main part here and put in a display captcha. Let's do the... Yeah, I'm just going to show you this one here, the window capture, right? And is that this one? Ah, there we go. So, we'll maximize that, but I'm going to have to... I'm just going to show you a little bit of this video that they ended up putting out for this Miss Hong Kong during their trip to Saipan. There you go. Oh, you can't see it yet. Now you can. So this is them at Crown. You can see this is part of that TVB coverage for the video that was here. Here, let me try. That looks a little weird, a little low. There you go. They went to C-Touch, which is pretty neat. I don't know if you guys have tried that, but if you haven't, you should. C-Touch is awesome. Being able to feed and hold on to the rays that are there. And they don't worry, they can't barb you. They can't give you the crocodile hunter treatment because they removed the barbs from them, and they're in there. Again, this is part of the Miss Hong Kong pageant. They traveled all over the place, including the CNMI, and they featured them in these videos. And they got to interact a little bit. Okay, so this is C-Touch. Not sure where else they went. You can see they came with great weather. That's Managaha, right? Or maybe the Sandbar. And let's see where else they go. It's cool that they came here. Bonus points if you can read that. Gotta have something going here. Well, it's great that they have these girls that came out to Saipan for the beauty pageant. Hopefully this will inspire some travel out here. Usually when they do stuff like this, they do it as whatever event that they have it set against the backdrop of some tourist destination that's meant to really, be part of their program or whatever, but be like a nice subtle nod to saying, hey, wherever they went must be pretty cool, and they should come here. So this is a big win for us. And they picked the best property for it. I mean, one of them at least, because Crown is a great property. The view out in the back is outstanding. Like, they have so much frontage along the beach, right? They cleared out everything. Now, it kind of sucks for people who used to love that Godfather's Beach Bar because that was pretty awesome. But it doesn't really fit with that Crown brand. Well, anyway, now you know that part's gone. We could show you what the other one looks like too, actually. But it's a good idea. Like, it's marketing-wise, it's a smart move to have them come out here. Here is this the other one? Yeah, this is it. We do the same thing. Just need to maximize it here. I could show you. This is the other one that's going on. Kapow. So they had one where it was before they went into C-Touch, and I guess this is that one. And who knows what else they did. So again, they had two features for this, and here's one of them. And maybe they had, okay, so one-on-one interviews. It's too bad the weather wasn't all that great. Still on a gray, rainy day, they still were able to showcase some of Saipan and their interviews and stuff. But hopefully they were able to go around and do other things, not just C-Touch. That's what I'm hoping for in this video, that we see something else in there. Take them up to the mountain, take them to see cool things that they could do this in other places, right? And on a day, especially when it's not particularly nice outside, take them out to some of the scenic areas up north. Maybe take them on a little trail, like hiking or something like that. Make it the adventure part. Because, like we talked about before, CNMI still needs to really have a look in the mirror from a tourism perspective and answer the question, who are we? What are we offering? Who are the tourists that we're trying to get? And what are we doing to get them? For this, though, that's adorable. For this kind of a thing, though, I mean, there's only so much you could do. Like, it's their program, it's what they want, and you want to take them along, but you want to follow what their producers are going to want to do for the video. But just this one spot. And, you know, I wonder how much of this went or was worked on with NBA with the Crown folks, because I know Crown's a big, Tan Holdings a big part of NBA and driver for what happens with this, and especially with trying to get the Chinese market, period. So I wonder if there's a reason why it was primarily here instead of anywhere else. That could be it. Maybe that's it. All right, everyone takes turn kissing the Rays. Now, what they should do to make it even better is go out and get a bunch of people from Saipan named Ray, put them in the water too. Well, I heard you want to kiss Rays. Raymond Vincent, that could be you. Vincent Raymond. All right. Yeah, I would love to see them in some of the other places too. Like at, show off like some of our other great properties. Oh, are they going to Tinian? They are. Or maybe they're not going to Tinian. If they're in those planes, they're just going to go take a look around. Let's see. Yeah, that's where the wings are up above. That means it's going to be the Discovery Tour, where you get to fly around and take photos and stuff like that. I've never done that. I've never taken that flight with Star Marianas, but that's a great, cool thing. So you notice the difference between the flights that we take to Tinian and these. Well, look at there's a lot less seats, and the wings are above, and that means that you're going to get way better photos because you don't have the wings in the way and everything. And it's a great tour of Saipan. Maybe that's something that we need to do. We got to reach out to our friends at Star and say, hey, can we get on one of these things and show off what our tourists get to have and enjoy. I mean, like this is a really cool version of it. They had looks like they had a whole bunch of GoPros stuck all over the place for this. I've been fortunate enough to take some military aircraft around, and as part of a military trip, go on Star Marianas for a flight around the islands, and it was outstanding. And it's really cool to see it from a different perspective. Like you get that perspective of a tourist. I mean, look at the views of Saipan, like from up there. How often do you get to see that coming from the north side? When we went up to FDM, got to see that. And it was really, really cool coming back. Really had some time to like fly in the proximity of like Suicide Cliff and everything is super cool. Oh, look, there's their certificate of doing it. And I think they let them fly during part of that. Oh my gosh. Did she really do that? Oh, and now they're going to go down to Grotto. It's okay. So I'm getting my, what I was hoping they would do is take them to more places than just Sea Touch. So they did. Fantastic. Hopefully the weather wasn't too rough where it was dangerous for them to get out of here. No, it looks super calm. And there you go. So this is MVA hard at work trying to get more exposure for us here in the CNMI. I don't know how much we ended up footing the bill for this kind of a thing, but this is the kind of thing that's worth it, especially if there are people from your target market. And hopefully this will work. Ooh, I don't think they're going diving outside of that. But I can tell you that diving outside of the grotto from the inside, going out, it's not easy getting your way back in. If you don't know your way around there, do not try it for the first time. You got to go out there with some folks who know their way around. Anyway, great job to MVA for luring or enticing folks in a major event that's going to be watched by probably millions of people to have a portion of that event here in the CNMI. It's outstanding. Well, it looks like it's all Saipan, and that's good too. They probably only had a limited amount of time that they were going to be here, and showing off Saipan's not bad. I know Tinian, I know Rhoda, but if you've only got folks that are going to be able to come in for a little bit at first, at least it gets them here. And then that's when we can pitch them on some of the other like side tours and stuff like that. And hey, that'd be great because it's a great spot. Tinian's great. So there you go. How much more of this video is there? It looks like almost like 10 minutes for the whole thing. All right. Well, we don't have to watch the whole thing, but we can put the links to it in your in the comment section so you can see it for yourself. Oh, this is the new Ojaz down in Garapan. You know, maybe I do want to keep watching this because it is cool to see, because this is put together not by our local folks, right? This is put together by people from off island, and it's interesting to see them and to see how they decide to showcase the Marianas. And this is showing us. Oh yeah. Sorry, I see it, Toba. But this is interesting to me because we're seeing it through the eyes of a tourist and through an off-island promoter. So finding out what they think is interesting. Now they have a limited understanding of what's available, but they're seeing some targets of opportunity with our local spots. And what are they showing off? They're showing off some nature. They're showing off some nice properties. Now what they're showing, and they, of course, the natural beauty with that like Discovery flight. And now they're taking them to a fancy schmancy cafe that we have. Probably the fanciest one that we've got. I mean, it's not a knock on any other cafe, but that Ojaz Cafe, probably the fanciest little cafe that we got, right? I mean, look at the fixtures behind there. Like, they've got a fake fireplace. Who else has a fake fireplace? So, if they're telling us that, excuse me, that this is what their travelers would like, then we should listen to that and fancy it up a little bit. All right, so what else do we got? So now they're showing a little bit of the beach stuff. Ojaz, where else? Are they going to have time to go anywhere else in this video? I bet this is it. Hey, speaking of that in the comments, he's like, oh, it's off, the timing between what's on YouTube and what's on here. Yep. It's just the way YouTube processes stuff at a different speed than what we've got for Facebook. So if you're watching Facebook, you're going to be a little bit ahead for sure than if you're watching it on YouTube. YouTube's a little bit off. I don't know why it is. I just know that it is. I'm not an expert on that. Oh, all right. And that's got to be it. There's probably about a minute left, right? Oh, yeah, there's like 10 seconds left. So that's it. So those are the latest things that they showed off from Miss Hong Kong. And that's how they saw our islands, and that's what they want to showcase as part of their show for their big event that's going to happen on Sunday, September 15th. They're going to, excuse me, they're going to make their big announcement on who's going to win Miss Hong Kong. But part of that whole process for them involved them coming from Saipan. And then here's let's see. The Marianas was chosen as part of the pre-pageant activities for 3 contestants. That was a lot more than 3. Carrie Lowe, Kim Ji-wen, and Tracy Chung. Miss Hong Kong alums Marianne Mack and Crystal Fung joined the ladies as they explored the beautiful skies, lush sceneries, and crystal clear waters of the Marianas. And then our managing director, Chris Conception, had this to say: "We're excited for this weekend's Miss Hong Kong pageant final night, as this year's journey has provided an opportunity for the pageant followers to also see some of the best parts of the Marianas through the eyes of the contestants who visited us. From our stunning ocean to our deep culture to delicious food favorites and more. It was a diverse itinerary and demonstrated the true wealth of our islands. Good luck to all the contestants this weekend." So, that's nice. And they also went to Shirley's as well. So they saw the stuff up in Marpy. They did Sea Touch, as we saw, sampled some of the pastries at Ojaz, and fried rice at Shirley's. Oh, it's too bad they didn't show any of this stuff. They spent time with Francis Sablon and Kiki Marciano to experience the Chamorro and Carolinian cultures. They got to hang out with locals, learn dances, do the crafts. Man, I wish all that stuff would have been in there. It's too bad. I mean, that's all the choices by the people who shot it, right? It would have been great if we had someone tag along to shoot that too. At least to document that we had them there, right? Not just like a group photo or the press release, but like something that we could show later. But especially that time with with Francis Sablon and Kiki, like that would be great. That would be great. All right, guys, we're going to take a real quick break. We come back. We're going to get to the rest of our headlines, but I thought that one was a real big one. Remember, the roads are going to be closed on Middle Road from Garapan Central Park, the Sugar King Park, to Mobile. That's going to happen starting at 9 o'clock today. So plan for it if you're driving. It is not going to be easy. The Beach Road is going to be full in that little section, and then you're going to have to try to get your way back up to Middle Road. So just plan ahead for it. You can be frustrated all you want, but it's not going to do anything for you. Just be ready for it because it's coming. All right? It won't be fast. If you want fast, then you need to switch to IT&E and use their broadband. The broadband that we use every single day for every single event that we bring you. Period. I'm telling you, whether it's the sporting events, whether it's this show, whether it's the live press conferences, the elections, the sporting events, the parades, you name it. If we're bringing it to you, it's because of IT&E. So when you're wondering, when things slow down, what are you going to do? You need to ask Blue.
Player number 14, It's a great day to be up 3-0. I'll tell you that. It probably is not great to be down.
I'm Brad Rosala, and I'm the owner for Commonwealth Communications.
And I am Jojo Alipuzu. I am the owner of Island Image and Ocean.
And this is our joint venture, Sideline Studios. This whole concept that we have of doing all these live stream productions and covering news and doing live shows and everything, it wouldn't happen if we didn't have a great partner like IT&E, someone who can handle the bandwidth and provide it and then get us what we need when we need it and then be a real partner for us for all the events, whether we're doing live sporting events, broadcasts. All of these things happen because of our partnership with IT&E.
With IT&E providing us with the fiber and point-to-point and even the MBRs, it's just a great piece of equipment to use when we're broadcasting our sports, our events, our performances, especially our cultural performances. And it's just great to share our culture here in the Marianas with the world. And IT&E has been there from the get-go.
The thing I like best about working with IT&E is how willing they are to come out and find a solution. Even for Liberation Day, we thought we had a pretty good solution for our live stream setup, and it turns out that we did not have the right setup that we thought we needed. That day, just before the parade, reached out to Paul and said, here's our situation. What do you think? He's like, we're gonna figure this out. While he's sitting there barbecuing, getting ready for the parade to start, he starts burning up the phone lines, calling everybody in IT&E, what can we do, what's the right solution? They left their families to do this stuff and get us the equipment that we needed to broadcast live. That's over and above. That's on a holiday. That's when he was out there spending time with his family.
That's why IT&E is just the best, just really in touch with the people and the community.
I recommend IT&E to everybody. Tell them the options are there, and you could choose whoever you want and then figure out what you think is the best. But when you're ready, when you're tired of having your calls disconnected or not having service, then you reach out to the guys from IT&E.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
All right, welcome back, Marianas. It is a beautiful day outside. If you like rain and gloom, it's not that bad. Hey, it might be a little damp outside, and it might be a little gray in the sky, but it's still better than being in the mainland. With all the crazy politics and everything going on back there, at least we don't have to worry about that. We get our own brand of crazy politics here, but it's kind of manageable because eventually people get normal again. They definitely get back to normalcy after it's done. I know we're still heating it up because it's September, and we are a week away from the Green Gala. We're less than a week away from the first real big debate for all the candidates that are happening for Kilili's position. I mean, that's almost like, are we always going to call it like that? Like it's... like we're always going to call Crown Fiesta or Daiichi, or you know how we have that little slow transition. Well, for the U.S. delegate position, that's going to be next week. Tickets are still available over at the Saipan Chamber of Commerce. And if you've got a lot of people submitted questions, the deadline was yesterday. So a lot of the questions that came in from the community, I know the planning committee looking them over and picking out which questions they're going to ask the candidates. Moderator is going to be Kathy Perry, the communications professional. She is just awesome. I can't wait to see how this goes. We're going to be broadcasting it here on the NMI News Service and on the Saipan Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. So we'll have it on we'll probably have it on Island Image Emotion also, so that if you're unable to get a ticket, you're still going to be able to watch it. Tickets are only $10, and it's going to be great to be able to see that in person, see how they interact with each other as stuff happens, like as those questions are asked, see their real reactions. They're going to be able to rebut the other ones. And again, there's 5 people in this. You got Liana Hofschneider, Ed Probst, Kim King-Hines, Jim Rafan, and John Gonzalez. You've got 5 people vying for that position. And that's the most since 2008, when 9 candidates were running for that job when it first opened up for the first time. And that's when Kilili edged out Pete A. Tenorio, and John Gonzalez finished 3rd, and then everybody else were way off in the dust. So it's going to be just interesting for us to see who's going to win. I'm interested in that race for sure. And, just interesting to see where everybody's going to go and how they're going to work together, and what's next for everybody else after the election. So it is a pretty cool time out here in the Marianas. And, I'm looking at this. Funny enough, I didn't know this thing existed. Where is this? That's in Sugar King. We have a hotel in Saipan called Saipan Gorilla. Didn't know that existed at all. Where is this? There's a hotel in Saipan called Saipan Gorilla. I think now we have to find out what the heck this is. Saipan Gorilla is an interesting name for a hotel. All right. Well, it's 8:33 in the morning, guys. And we got that debate that's going to be coming up next week. Kathy Perry is going to be asking all of the candidates their questions about how they feel about all these different issues. What we don't know what the questions are going to be. Don't know exactly what the topics are going to be either. All that stuff is going to be kept under wraps until that night. Even the moderator won't know the questions until that night. And they're going to give their answers and get their replies, and it'll be great. So the media is going to be there covering it as well. So it's going to be well covered and well attended. There's going to be, if you can't find a ticket from the Saipan Chamber of Commerce, reach out to your favorite candidate. Each one of the candidates was afforded 40 tickets. So that means that they're able to hang on to them. So either they're buying those tickets and giving them out to their supporters, or their supporters are buying them from them directly. everybody's got the opportunity to get it, so that's going to be pretty neat to see how it, who attends and how it goes. I know it's going to be a great event. That's all I can say, because we've got great people involved, and I'll tell you, I love that we got Sound Hire involved also to take care of all the video and to take care of all the audio. We've got the video that we're going to do, but they're going to do the audio and all the cool lighting that's going to go with it too. No, it's not going to be like GIG, but everybody's going to be well lit, and it should be, they're the best. The guys from Sound Hire, they are just outstanding. So they're going to make sure that people who are there at the event are able to hear it, and then we take their feed, goes directly into our board for the broadcast to you. And that's pretty cool, right? So looking forward to it. What else? Green Gala. It is on September 20th. We had Roberta Guerrero on here. She's the executive director for Mariana Islands Nature Alliance, their big fundraiser, their only fundraiser of the year, and it's going to be September 20th. Tickets are $100, and it includes a great dinner and at least one beverage while you're there. It's only open to adults, so 18 and older. So no kiddos. You can't bring your kiddos with you. You got to be 18 and up to be there, and they're going to have all kinds of entertainment, and they're going to be giving out awards as well. I'm looking forward to seeing who are the best environmental stewards in our island, as seen by the people who are the environmental stewards of our island. Should be great to see for us. By the way, I ran into someone when I was at the courthouse the other day. They're like, hey, can you give the family court a shout out? So shout out to you guys over at Family Court. I know you guys are doing a great job taking care of some difficult issues for all kinds of folks, and you're just really well appreciated by people in the community who are going through a time where they've got to use you. And you're serving us well and doing great for our community. So shout out to you guys for being out there. It's kind of neat. And this is something else for the show that not everybody's used to yet. It's just like you would normally call like a regular show and do everything like that. You want to give shout outs, birthday shout outs, congrats, you name it. I'm here for it. We're here for it. And the cool thing is, too, you can send us photos. You can send us a brief videos of all that, of your shout-outs, too. You could be like that, happy birthday, Dan. If you want to do that, we'll do that. We'll pop that on there for you, too. So it's great. Remember, our lines are open. It is 789-2323, 789-2323. That is the hotline number here for Good Morning Marianas. And, oh my gosh, this story just never ends. This is, let's see. Did I get a reply to this message? Oh, I was hoping it would be. No, I was hoping it would be, but it's not there yet. That's all right. We'll see if I get a favorable reply on this request that I just sent out today, too. All right, so we already got that CUC notice out there for you guys. You know what's going on there. Just getting you guys all caught up to see if there's anything else. I do have the sports update from the Associated Press, too. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, my gosh, football. I do want to talk football. I do want to talk about football. Why do you talk about? Why? Because my team is playing today, and it's going to start in about a couple hours, a little bit less than 2 hours. The Buffalo Bills are traveling to Miami to take on the Dolphins, and it's what features to be a pretty good game. I mean, it's a Thursday night football game. It's the second one of the season. Both of these teams are playing on short weeks, so limited rest for sure. And it's a tough one. They both won last week, and they both won with a little bit of a challenge. Like the Bills had a difficult time with the Arizona Cardinals. They ended up beating them, but it came down to the end for sure. As far as the Dolphins just barely won last week for sure. They literally hardly won between those two. Oh my gosh, they're making it so difficult to get this information since they started this new thing. Here we go. But here's some of the things to watch for. The Bills have a great history of smacking around the Dolphins in the last few years, but it used to be the absolute opposite way going back about 40 years ago, it was Miami just beating up on Buffalo forever. So they're going back and forth on all these things. Last year, Miami won at Hard Rock because it was so freaking hot down there. The players were literally melting on the side. Figuratively. They weren't really melting. They weren't like wax sculptures going into little globs. That was it. And, man, I'll tell you, it came down to the end, and the Dolphins ended up winning. And when they came back to Buffalo at the last game of the year, it was a matter of who was going to win and who was going to win the division championship. That was what was on the line. If the Dolphins won, then they were going to host the Bills again in the first round of the playoffs. Instead, the Bills won. Miami had to go to like 20 below temperatures in Kansas City and play a game where the Bills were able to host a playoff game. So it was a real big deal. And now it's the week 2 of the season. And the first game of week 2 is going to be there, and it's going to be in Miami. It's not going to be nearly as hot this time around. It's going to be relatively cool. And so the Bills won't have to fight that as well. But who are they going to throw to? There's a whole bunch of different receivers in Buffalo now. You've got 10 different targets from Josh Allen last time when he was going against the Cardinals defense. So there's no one player had 51 yards. That's Keon Coleman. Outside of that, it was sprinkled around to everybody. On the Dolphins side, you would think that somebody's not going to get arrested this time, or pulled over and arrested and detained on the side of the road, because that was a massive distraction for them last week. Calais Campbell, one of their gigantic linemen and veterans, got put in handcuffs. Tyreek Hill got pulled over, put in handcuffs. And I'll tell you, we won't get into the specifics of that one about who's right and who's wrong at all. But we could definitely, I'll just say that both guys had a bad day. But that definitely influenced their game. Still, somehow Miami was able to get their stuff together and win at the very end on a field goal. So they're not going to have that kind of a distraction coming into this week, but they're not going to have a whole lot of rest coming into this week either. Again, Thursday night games are the absolute worst for these guys. When they start it's a real short rest week. The only good thing is that after this, they're going to have